This is the blessing that Moses, the man of God, gave the Israelites before he died. The Lord came from Sinai, like a light shining at dawn over Seir, like a light shining from Mount Paran. He came with 10,000 holy ones. God's mighty soldiers were by his side. Yes, the Lord loves his people. All his holy people are in his hand. They sit at his feet and learn his teachings. Moses gave us the law. These teachings are for Jacob's people. At that time, the Israelites and their leaders met together, and the Lord became Jeshurun's king. Let Reuben live and not die, but let there be only a few people in his tribe. Moses said this about Judah. Lord, listen to the leader from Judah when he calls for help. Bring him to his people, make him strong, and help him defeat his enemies. Moses said this about Levi. Levi is your true follower. He keeps the Urim and Thummim. At Massah you tested the people of Levi. At the waters of Meribah you challenged them. They were more loyal to you, Lord, than their own families. They ignored their fathers and mothers. They did not recognize their brothers. They did not pay attention to their children, but they obeyed your commands. They kept your agreement. They will teach your rules to Jacob and your law to Israel. They will burn incense before you. They will offer burnt offerings on your altar. Lord, bless everything Levi has, except what he does. Destroy those who attack him. Defeat his enemies so that they will never attack again. Moses said this about Benjamin. Benjamin is loved by the Lord and lives close to him in safety. The Lord protects him all the time like a child at rest on its mother's back. Moses said this about Joseph. May the Lord bless Joseph's land with rain from the skies above and water from the ground below. Let the sun give them good fruit. Let each month bring its best fruit. Let the hills and ancient mountains produce their best fruit. Let the earth give its best to Joseph. He was separated from his brothers, so may the Lord in the burning bush give his best to Joseph. Joseph is like a powerful bull. His two sons are like bull's horns. They will attack other people and push them to the ends of the earth. Yes, Manasseh has thousands of people, and Ephraim has 10,000s. Moses said this about Zebulun. Zebulun, be happy when you go out. Issachar, be happy in your tents at home. They will call the people to their mountain. There they will offer good sacrifices. They will take riches from the sea and treasures from the seashore. Moses said this about Gad. Praise God who gave Gad more land. Gad is like a lion that lies down and waits. Then he attacks and tears the animal in pieces. He chose the best part for himself. He took the king's share. The leaders of the people come to him. He did what the Lord says is good. He did what is right for the Israelites. Moses said this about Dan. Dan is a lion's cub that jumps out from Bashan. Moses said this about Naphtali. Naphtali, you will get all you want. The Lord will really bless you. You will get the land by Lake Galilee. Moses said this about Asher. Asher is the most blessed of the sons. Let him be the favorite of his brothers, and let him wash his feet in olive oil. Your gates will have locks made from iron and bronze. You will be strong all your life. There is no one like the God of Israel. He rides on the clouds in his divine greatness. He comes riding through the skies to help you. God lives forever. He is your place of safety. His power continues forever. He is protecting you. He will force your enemies to leave your land. He will say, destroy the enemy. So Israel will live in safety. Jacob's well belongs to them. They will get a land of grain and wine, and that land will get plenty of rain. Israel, you are blessed. No other nation is like you. The Lord saved you. He is like a strong shield protecting you. He is like a powerful sword. Your enemies will be afraid of you, and you will put your foot on their backs. Moses climbed Mount Nebo. Moses went from the Jordan Valley in Moab to the top of Mount Pisgah. This was across the Jordan River from Jericho. The Lord showed Moses all the land from Gilead to Dan. He showed him all the land of Naphtali, Ephraim, and Manasseh. He showed him all the land of Judah, as far as the Mediterranean Sea. He showed Moses the Negev in the valley that goes from Zoar to Jericho, the city of palm trees. The Lord said to Moses, "This is the land that I promised to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I said to them, I will give this land to your descendants. I have let you see the land, but you cannot go there." Then Moses, the Lord's servant, died there in the land of Moab. The Lord had told Moses this would happen. He buried Moses in Moab. This was in the valley across from Beth Peor. But even today, no one knows exactly where Moses' grave is. Moses was 120 years old when he died. He was as strong as ever, and his eyes were still good. The Israelites cried for Moses for 30 days. They stayed in the Jordan Valley in Moab until the time of sadness was finished. Moses had put his hands on Joshua and appointed him to be the new leader. Then Joshua, son of Nun, was filled with the spirit of wisdom. So the Israelites began to obey Joshua, and they did what the Lord had commanded Moses. Israel never had another prophet like Moses. The Lord knew Moses face to face. The Lord sent Moses to do powerful miracles in the land of Egypt. Pharaoh, all his officers, and all the people in Egypt saw those miracles. No other prophet ever did as many powerful and amazing things as Moses did for the Israelites to see. Moses was the Lord's servant, and Joshua, son of Nun, was Moses' helper. After Moses died, the Lord spoke to Joshua and said, "My servant Moses is dead. Now you and all these people must go across the Jordan River. You must go into the land I am giving to the Israelites. I promised Moses that I would give you this land, so I will give you all the land wherever you go. All the land from the desert to Lebanon, all the way to the great river, that is, the Euphrates River. And all the land of the Hittites will be yours, and all the land from here to the Mediterranean Sea in the west, that is, the place where the sun sets, will be within your borders. Just as I was with Moses, I will be with you. No one will be able to stop you all your life. I will not abandon you. I will never leave you. Joshua, you must be strong and brave. You must lead these people so that they can take their land. I promised their fathers that I would give them this land. But you must be strong and brave about obeying the commands my servant Moses gave you. If you follow his teachings exactly, you will be successful in everything you do. Always remember what is written in that book of law. Speak about that book and study it day and night. Then you can be sure to obey what is written there. If you do this, you will be wise and successful in everything you do. Remember, I commanded you to be strong and brave. Don't be afraid, because the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." So Joshua gave orders to the leaders of the people. "Go through the camp and tell the people, get some food ready. 3 days from now, we will go across the Jordan River and take the land that the Lord our God is giving us." Then Joshua said to the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and the half-tribe of Manasseh, "Remember what the Lord's servant Moses told you. He said that the Lord your God would give you a place to live. So he has given you this land east of the Jordan River. But now you must help your relatives get their land. Your wives and children can stay here with your animals, but all your fighting men must prepare for battle and lead the men of the other tribes across the river. The Lord has given you a place to live, and he will do the same for your brothers. But you must help them until they take control of the land the Lord your God is giving them. Then you can come back and settle here on the east side of the river. This is the land that the Lord's servant Moses said would be yours." Then the people answered Joshua, "We will do whatever you command us to do. We will go wherever you tell us to go. We will obey whatever you say, just as we obeyed Moses. We only ask that the Lord your God be with you, just as he was with Moses. Then anyone who refuses to obey your commands or turns against you will be killed. Just be strong and brave." Joshua son of Nun and all the people were camped at Acacia. Joshua sent out 2 spies. No one knew that Joshua sent out these men. Joshua said to them, "Go and look at the land, especially the city of Jericho." So the men went to the city of Jericho and stayed at the house of the prostitute named Rahab. But someone told the king of Jericho, "Last night some men from Israel came to look for weaknesses in our country." So the king of Jericho sent this message to Rahab, "Do not hide the men who came and stayed in your house. Bring them out. They have come to spy on our country." Rahab had hidden the 2 men, but she said, "They did come here, but I didn't know where they came from." In the evening, when it was time to close the city gate, the men left. "I don't know where they went, but if you go quickly, maybe you can catch them." Rahab said this, but really she had taken the men up to the roof and had hidden them in the flax that she had piled up there. So the king's men went out of the city, and the people closed the city gates. The king's men went to look for the 2 men from Israel. They went to the Jordan River and looked at all the places where people crossed the river. The 2 men were ready to sleep for the night, but Rahab went to the roof to talk to them. She said, "I know that the Lord has given this land to your people. You frighten us. Everyone living in this country is afraid of you. We are afraid because we have heard about the ways that the Lord helped you. We heard that he dried up the Red Sea when you came out of Egypt. We also heard what you did to the 2 Amorite kings, Sihon and Og. We heard how you destroyed those kings living east of the Jordan River. When we heard about this, we were very afraid. And now, not one of our men is brave enough to fight you, because the Lord, your God, rules the heavens above and the earth below. So now, I want you to make a promise to me. I was kind to you and helped you. So promise me before the Lord that you will be kind to my family. Please tell me that you will do this. Tell me that you will allow my family to live, my father, mother, brothers, sisters, and all their families. Promise me that you will save us from death." The men agreed and said, "We will trade our lives for yours. Don't tell anyone what we are doing. Then, when the Lord gives us the land, we will be kind to you. You can trust us." Rahab's house was built into the city wall, so she used a rope to let the men down through a window. Then she said to them, "Go into the hills so that the king's men will not accidentally find you. Hide there for 3 days. After the king's men come back, you can go on your way." The men said to her, "We made a promise to you, but you must do one thing, or we will not be responsible for our promise. When we come back to this land, you must tie in your window this red rope you are using to help us escape. You must bring your father, your mother, your brothers, and all your family into your house with you. We will protect everyone who stays in this house. If anyone in your house is hurt, we will be responsible. But if they go out of your house and are killed, we will not be responsible. It will be their own fault. We are making this agreement with you. But if you tell anyone about what we are doing, we will be free from this agreement." Rahab answered, "I will do just what you said." She said goodbye, and the men left her house. Then she tied the red rope in the window. The men left her house and went into the hills. They stayed there for 3 days. The king's men looked all along the road. After 3 days, they stopped looking and went back to the city. Then the 2 men went back to Joshua. They left the hills and crossed the river. They went to Joshua and told him everything that they had learned. They said to him, "The Lord really has given us all the land. All the people in that country are afraid of us."